In the prelude to this adventure, you and your companions broke a spy named Nero out of jail. This spy was working for the vampire lords, which you learned are a secretive and powerful people. Zarra, a former Drow priestess, hopes to gain their help in retrieving an heirloom of her fallen noble house. Your party traveled through the home of the wood elves to escape the country and rendezvoused with Nero's ship at Safe Harbour. However, after careful consideration, you and your companions decided visiting the vampires was too dangerous, and instead returned home to defend your country against the Xenomorph invasion. You learned from rumors that Senator Hannibal's Republican army has suffered a major defeat in their fight against the Xenomorphs and calls for aid. Senator Cardinal Godwin has answered the call and rallies new soldiers to the City of Glass. What do you do? At this point, I'd like each player to introduce their character, please, starting with Gilmac.
Gilmac was born in flames on a fiery night during an attack on his village. The villagers were able to fend off the attack, suffering only a few lost souls. Not wanting to leave the area where they lived, his community had to rebuild the village. Being raised in an up-and-coming village, Gilmac grew up hearing of the tales of the devastation that he was born in. It angered him, and he adopted the mindset of protection of those he loved. At birth, he was blessed with the ability to shapeshift and harness the power of fire. These abilities were not known until the age of 8. He would randomly set small fires when he was angry and shapeshift into familiar animals when he would try to imagine what it would like to be them. The form would not last long because he was scared at such a young age. His family and community started to understand that he had druidic powers and called upon another druid to help Gilmac learn to harness his powers. He quickly learned to control what to transform himself into. At the age of 20, all of his immediate family had died. Already understanding that he had learned the ways of the druid, he set out on his own to explore the world and its many wonders. Eventually, he will return to his village and share his stories of adventure.
Okay, well done. You gain inspiration. Next, I'd like Game Night to introduce your character, please.
All right. My character's name is Nicholas. You can simply refer to him as Cypher. Born among the gutter trash in the city of Blue Harbor, Nicholas learned very early on that he would need to keep his wits about him if he wished to survive. He lacked the ruthless charisma of a merchant or the strength to simply turn to crime, and so he was forced to cultivate a very particular set of skills to keep from starving on the streets. He spent most of his tender years as a page for one of the many merchant houses, and it was not long until he came in contact with the smiths and craftsmen who form the backbone of any truly successful commercial hub. Fascinated by their ability to create and their inspiring self-sufficiency, as well as their ruthless tenacity, it was not long until he knew that this was the map that he was meant to take. Uh, and so it was that he took that path. He sought out someone willing to teach street rat like him how to create, and is now on the path that was set for him, seeking to bring his skills ever higher.
Okay, well done. You gain inspiration. Landford, could you introduce your character for us, please? Landford, you there?
Sorry, I have a partner at the moment.
Okay, we'll come back to you later. Sleepy Dragon, could you introduce your character, please?
Uh, Drek is the son of a soldier who had, through combat, earned the right of becoming a noble knight, one of the lowest ranking nobles. After his son was born with uh, celestial powers as an ASMR, his father decided to go and take a retirement from the army and just take a general job as a guard to keep providing for his family, as well as coming home to go and train his son as he was developing his skills. Whenever his father was away, Drek would periodically run off to go on adventures, explore different areas, And eventually, as he grew older and his father never managed to instill any proper morals into him, he decided to run away and just start an adventuring life, go and do whatever he pleased.
Okay, well done. You gained 1 point of inspiration, and that's located in the bottom left. Anytime you use inspiration, just click the minus key. Stone Blackwell, could you introduce your character for us, please?
Kenneth Blackwater is the runaway son of a crazed pirate captain. He made his living on the docks performing shady deals and following a life of gambling and booze, finding himself awake upon the altars of the goddess Saloon and trying to turn his life back around multiple times. Seeking employment as a cleric, he still ends up with shady deals, but is finally trying to find his way and is none too keen to find himself back on the waters.
Well done. You gain a point of inspiration. Landfed, when you're ready, please introduce your character.
Yes, I'm Dark Wolf. He's the last of his tribe. They were attacked in the night by creatures that resembled wolves, bears, and boars and other creatures of the forest. But they seemed to act as one, almost like a hive mind. They destroyed his camp, slaughtered all of his clansmen, then just disappeared. They left no tracks, no dead of their own, nor signs of even having been there, except all the bodies of his tribesmen. Since then, he's been surviving as a nomad in the outskirts of various townships. When he's not hunting and trapping, he can be found at the nearest tavern, attempting to drown his nightmares. Some nights are worse than others, and that's when his beast takes over, reliving the horrors of that night and fighting the ghosts of the past in the vain hopes of saving just one other life. Typically, he works alone or in temporary hunting parties, but recently he's found some mutual kinship in a stoic suit of armor named Drek and its entourage. It's nice to find an individual that can carry their own weight.
Well done. You gain a point of inspiration. Okay, you guys begin your adventure on the orc ship along with Nero and Zarra. You guys are discussing where to go. You can begin.
Gilmac would sit up from his spot that he's chosen up on deck, and look around and remember a couple conversations with Drek and the Dark Wolf, and then look to Nicholas and say, Nicholas, Cypher, how long you think we're going to be on this ship?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. That depends on where it is that we've agreed we're going. I know we had that conversation earlier about whether or not it was really a good idea to willfully intrude upon a cabal of vampire lords, and I believe we came to the agreement that it was not in our best interest to do so. So, given the news that that Hannibal's army has so woefully uh, failed in their attempts to curb the threat of the Xenomorphs, uh, I think we agreed that our first course of action would be to attempt to get into contact with the Cardinal, the Senator Cardinal Godwin.
Yes, I think we should do that, and then I believe we all remember a cache in the shrine near Tawirif. We should probably make our way there and see if the items are still there.
Indeed. So we contact Godwin, the Senator Cardinal, at least to let somebody know what it is that we're attempting to do, you know, just so that Hannibal can't take the credit if we do, in fact, make find a way to fix all this from behind the battle line. All right, so we make our way to Godwin. We bypass the main combat area, move in on Twyrith, and excavate the cache of items, and then press forward for the city itself, if at all possible.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. What says you, Wolf?
It's not going to be the first time I've gone into questionable territory. And I'm eager to try my mettle with these xenomorph creatures that you speak of.
Yeah, they're a nasty bunch. I'm sure Kenneth remembers them too, huh?
They're definitely not pleasant to deal with, but I'll take them over whatever lurks in the waters around here.
Alright, guys, I'm bringing you to the world map. Sleepy, I think I should have, revealed the whole thing to you, but if you can't see anything, like if there aren't any fog of war places around, then let me know.
Everything is hidden.
Everything is in black.
Oh no.
You can't see.
I can see like where the party is and a bubble around it up into yeah.
Now you can see fog of war.
Yeah, now I'm getting to see through everything.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start like revealing stuff to you. So this is like the places the party has traveled. So I'm going to try to like reveal everything to you. And there's more stuff that you can see in give me a sec here. There's a treasure map that Mortimer found before he was retired that leads up north. So I need to show you the route that the map showed.
Oh, we see the little icon up there already.
Yeah.
Oh man. That is going to be
That's
a
a trip.
journey.
Wow.
Just sailing around this little lake-looking area compared to the rest of the map has taken days, weeks.
If we're planning a trip that's going to take us that long, we're going to need at least something to hold the booze, because there's no way we're going to be able to carry enough for all of us.
Alright, so there it is. The map should be revealed to you now. And yeah, feel free. Nero walks up to you guys and says, "So, where would you like me to go?"
How close do you think you can get to the City of Glass without being captured?
I'm not going to be able to go into the kelp area. I'd probably just drop you off in the wood elf area.
What's the odds
All
we're
right.
going to run into wood elves in that area?
I don't know.
Probably not if we stick to the coast. It should be swamp for the most part. The road was where we encountered the blockade. So, I mean, if we're all for speed, it would be I believe it would be the fastest course of action. He maneuvers us, drops us off on the coast, perhaps in a mangrove swamp of some kind, and we take the day or so that it would take to navigate to the City of Glass, or maybe 2 days that it would take to navigate to the City of Glass from there. Because otherwise, our closest option is Fandor, and then we'll have to charter a boat to get the rest of the way.
Are we talking about being dropped off at the safe harbor where we left?
No.
Nero says
No.
he would drop you off right about here, about halfway. So if I were to move the token to where he would drop you off, it'd be around there.
And we would still be in the wood elf territory,
Yes,
correct?
you would. Yes, you. Well, yes, you. Well, no, their territory is further south, so you can be on the coast. You'd be in the harsh terrain area where you take exhaustion. If you're traveling in the wilderness, it would require Constitution saving throws.
Guys, I don't know. We decided not to travel that route before, and I think maybe we should just go back to the Safe Harbor and make our way through as we did last time and just backtrack. I don't think it's too much longer.
I
You guys
think
are
I
afraid of a
burned
little
those
trek through the
bridges.
forest?
I
Burn
mean, we don't have to spend the entire time going through. We just got to find our way back because there's a route from the elves back through, or is it complete jungle from there?
Yeah, well, everybody was blindfolded except for Gilmac, but Gilmac would know that there is a road that leads from Safe Harbor to the Wood Elves' kind of main capital, main village, and then it leads further northeast all the way to City of Glass.
So
Right.
we'd only have to travel through the wilderness until we could find the road. That might be like what, 1 or 2 days.
And
Might
then
be able
we
to manage that.
surprise the Wood Elves.
That's what I'm
I mean,
afraid
we
of.
could just bypass the blockade and then rejoin the road. We don't have to take the whole route. We don't have to go the whole way through the wilderness or surprise the Wood Elves. Really, I'd rather not. You know,
I mean, yeah, that's the problem. They don't want us seeing through their city. As long as we avoid the city, they don't care if we're going along the road.
I
They
mean,
do.
but
That's why you guys were blindfolded.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Sorry.
These
They
these
don't.
pointy
So-
eared
xenophobic.
gits are a bit squirrely with anyone who doesn't look like them. So the moment we set foot on their dry land, even before that, I assure you, they'll be tracking us.
Indeed.
they'd have to know we're here first.
They'll know.
No, let me just eliminate the mystery here. If the Wood Elves find you without an escort, going through their land, they will imprison you.
Yeah, we need to go to the Safe Harbor and just talk to them and get our passage back through as we did before and suck it up, and it'll be fine, right?
Hey, I guess the worlds always work as a plan B.
Who
I'm
is
willing
the party
to,
leader? Or no, who's the party navigator? Party navigator decision.
Navigator.
Gilmac is the navigator, and I know we left on some strange terms, but they definitely were not bad terms. So I don't think we should fear being greeted by the Wood Elves again at the Safe Harbor.
Gotcha.
All right.
There's always
That's
the
what you're
option of
willing to
going to
do?
Fandor and chartering a boat to City of Glass.
Yeah, but that both takes longer and is more expensive.
All right.
If that's what happens, again, plan. Well, no, that
Yeah,
can't be
you
plan
know,
B. Plan
if
B
it means
failed.
less time on the water, I'm willing to work with the elves.
Kenneth really hates the ocean.
All right.
I'm not a fan
Gilmac,
of
what is
being
your
muzzled.
decision?
Yeah, let us get taken back to the same place we left last time.
Okay, so you guys, Nero departs for a few minutes and then turns right around and docks back at Safe Harbor. You guys get off. You see the Wood Elves that have hardly left. You know, you guys barely went out to sea. Well, actually, no. You went out, you picked up Drek, right? And then you came back. So it's a few hours later. A few hours later, you come back, and they're
Didn't we
curious.
drop off?
Ah, yes. Mortimer was dropped off somewhere mysteriously.
Well, yeah.
We left him on the rock.
Well,
No comment.
Hector's going to
Harbor
lick his
Master
lips.
at Safe Harbor says, "Whoa, what brings you guys back?"
Well, we had a change of heart on our course, and we decided not to go that way. So we hoped that we could just return back to this harbor and be escorted back through your lands in the same manner as before, with the same deal as before.
Okay. Well, you're in luck. Wood Elves have not departed yet for the border checkpoint, so you can just escort you right back when they're going back to their post. And so the harbor master goes and gets the Wood Elf guards, goes get Willow, and they will escort you through the Wood Elves' territory without any issues. Is there anything you'd like to say to them as you're journeying on the main road?
Cypher?
Cypher doesn't talk.
Are you sure?
Not a word leaves his mouth.
Yeah, you guys are blindfolded, everybody, and yeah, if there's no objection.
I mean, Gilmek would converse a little bit with Willow, just to break the silence at one point and say, do you plan on going back to see your father anytime soon?
I can't leave. If I leave, they won't let me back in.
I
asked you to bring him here.
Right. Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing him soon, and we'll tell him what you said.
Well, I'm glad. That makes me happy. So after a few days, you arrive back at the border checkpoint. They wave as you depart the land of the Wood Elves. A few more hours through this marshy, misty wetland area. You leave the forest, and there's a vast farmland before you, and then after that there's the docks that lead to the City of Glass.
All right. So
Those
once
elves
we're
didn't seem that bad.
so
Yes.
there was a what's it called? A gathering, a calling of adventurers to the City of Glass by the Senator Cardinal Godwin. Was there like a specific area they were told together? Someplace they were told to
No,
put down names.
no, it was not given a
Okay.
specific place in the City of Glass.
Well,
Okay, then I guess.
I think we just need to start making our way there and see what we see, and if we don't find anybody, we can ask around.
All right, yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Maybe there'll be a table to sign up at.
So, yeah. Do you want to go there just direct route, walk through the farmland?
Yeah.
I'm asking the party navigator.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay, so there's some dirt roads that lead through the farmland, crisscross. As you are traveling, you see many large apple orchards and orange tree farms. Farmers and workers are picking the fruits from the trees and placing them in cylindrical wicker baskets they are carrying on their back. In the corner of one apple orchard, to the right, you see a flock of children reading books underneath some trees. They look so peaceful, comfortable, and content. The apples have already been plucked from the trees above them. 32 young boys and girls are reading their books beside the road. When they see you, they cheerfully walk over and reveal a flask of iced lemonade behind their backs. The oldest boy says, "Would you like to buy some lemonade? It is really good, and it only costs 8 silver pieces a flask."
Absolutely. Here's some silver.
Okay, you hand some silver to the boy. He hands you 8. And then, like 5 other boys and girls from the pack of 32 hold up their flasks. And more people hold up more flasks. Until
We're getting mobbed.
31 flasks are held up in front of the party.
8 silver pieces. Meaning, I don't have enough money for that.
Yeah,
Wolf is just gonna growl at them.
Drek is just going to walk away.
Do I need to roll an insight check to know these kids are trying to scam us? Because I know it don't cost that much to make lemonade.
Yeah, no, go ahead. No, go ahead and roll insight. Actually, you don't need to roll insight. Yeah, it's overpriced. They're kids. They're giving you the.
That's what I thought.
They're giving you the baby
You know what,
eyes.
I'll roll an insight to try and find the youngest kid of the group, and I'll go ahead and buy their flask.
Okay.
Make them feel special for making the sale.
Okay, 8 silver pieces. He hands you a flask. Now there's only 30 flasks left. Some skinny boys, some chubby boys, some skinny girls, some chubby girls, some boys and girls with glasses.
Ooh.
Does anyone... York Wolf growls at them. You don't buy anything?
Nah.
They start whimpering. They start appealing to you.
Puppy dog eyes. I've seen this tactic many times before. Cypher will, in fact, ignore them.
I mean, I've seen it too, but you gotta at least respect the hustle.
Know what?
Mhm.
You're right. You're right. I have to respect the hustle.
Does anyone else
Let me do.
want to buy anything?
Yeah, sure. I'll buy one. I'll pick out the one that looks the most desperate.
All right. You see a skinny and rather malnourished boy give you a lemonade, and he's like, "Yeah, thank you very much." Last chance. Anyone else want to buy anything?
You know, reaching down to the same kid that he bought the lemonade from, Kenneth's gonna hand him 2 more copper pieces, or not copper, silver pieces. He's gonna say, "You know anything about a bunch of soldiers that have been coming in supposedly to fight the monsters that are
Oh,
plaguing the
yes.
town?"
The heroes. They went to the City of Glass. They went to the ferries to the north. The ships that lead to the City of Glass. They went there to meet up with Cardinal Godwin.
North of the city. Thank you very much.
Bill Max wants to ask one of them. How did you make this lemonade?
Well, we took lemons from the trees over there. There's lemon trees behind the orange trees. And then we squeezed the lemons to get all the lemon juice out. And then we mixed the lemonade with water. Lemon juice with water. And then we went and we got some limes and squeezed some limes too. There's some lime trees back there as well. And we didn't have any sugar, so we just kind of that's kind of it. Water, lemon, and lime.
Gilmike would take a sip because he's thinking about buying more. So Gilmike would take a sip out of the flask that he bought.
Yeah, it's okay. It's good lemonade.
Seems all right. Okay,
Yes.
then I'm gonna buy one from everybody then. 8 silver pieces for everybody.
Yep, 8
I'm
silver.
gonna take them all. I'm gonna take what 29 more.
Yeah, 29 more. There you go. You have a total of 30.
Gomac is too kind.
I must have one of those bag of holdings on you because I would not be able to fit all that in my satchel.
Cypher has
I mean,
All right, now that there's
yeah.
there's no chance left to purchase any, I'm going to say that everyone that purchased something will get 3 temporary hit points. Gilmac, you went above and beyond, so you get 8 temporary hit points. That's everyone that purchased will get 3. Gilmac will get 8. As the kids are jubilant and their, your inspiration to them has given you a boon, a reward. And they go back to reading beneath the trees and, go back to their families, content and happy. And it just lifts your spirits. So yeah, feel free to add those temporary hit points right now. And we will proceed to the City of Glass.
I would share my lemonade with everybody else equally if they wanted it, and I would probably end up drinking a lot of it on the way.
Indeed. Do you want to share that with Landfit? And Landfit will get that. Or Dark Wolf will also get the temporary hit points if you give him some.
I would, yeah. If anybody would like some of this that I bought, I would give it to them gladly.
All right. Then everyone can get 3 hit points. Except Gilmac. Gilmac gets 8. So, after some time traveling, you see the familiar ferries and ships that carry you to the City of Glass. The City of Glass is the capital city of Ventus and home to the political heart of the nation, the Senate. It is famed for its trade and the elite mariners that protect against pirates. The name came from the great dome of unbreakable glass that kept the water out. Every year, the Dungeon Run Triathlon is held to honor the heroes of Ventus who risk their lives subduing dangerous dungeons around the country. All adventuring parties are invited to participate in an epic dungeon crawl against similarly ranked rival teams. Majors will scry the contestants and broadcast the live action to the audience. The winning team shall receive the magical items dropped by the boss monster. This year's Dungeon Run Triathlon has been delayed due to the Xenomorph invasion. The ships take you to the top of the city where you find the Spire. This is a large tower that ascends from the floor of the city to the top of the glass dome. There is a magical portal that lets people enter the city by appearing in the spire, so you appear in the spire, and descending a long staircase to reach the city's center. Let me go ahead and bring you guys over to the City of Glass map. Give it a couple of minutes.
You said we're up in the spire right now?
Yeah, you're up in the spire, and there's only one direction to go, so descending a long staircase to reach the city center, you make your way down the stairs and emerge from the spire to see many priests. So you're right here. Many priests walking around the spire recruiting adventurers. You also spot Cardinal Godwin positioned prominently in an open pavilion, talking with elite paladins, champions, master wizards, and renowned adventurers. You even spot Celeborn mingling with the crowd. The pavilion is a large tent, a very large tent, that is placed in the center of the bridge connecting the market district and the spire. So they're off here in the distance. You guys have just emerged from the spire.
Alrighty. Is there a line to meet with the Senator Cardinal?
There is not, but the priests are certainly, there are certainly lines to talk with some of the priests when they're talking to some of the other adventurers around the spire.
I feel in this circumstance it would be best to follow proper protocol. Priest first, then Godwin. Like there's no line, so I don't think there's something that we could just join nonchalantly. I feel like to approach him without being scrutinized, we'd have to, uh, follow, ask a priest of some kind. Hold on, just 1 second.
Yeah, and Gilmac
So
would
who are
definitely
we
take.
here to talk to?
Yeah, Gilmac would follow anybody else's lead in this situation, and social norms are lost on Gilmac. He doesn't want to make anybody mad.
So
Okay.
are we here to talk to one of these guys?
So if you want to talk, party actor, please discuss with others on what the plan is for a potential social encounter. Let me know when you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Cypher, right?
No.
Oh, is that Wolf?
Yep.
All right, Wolf. Well, I mean, well,
Didn't a couple of us watch over those mages for Celeborn when we were coming to the city in the first place?
I think myself and Henrik, what's his name? The other fella. We were tasked with that, and we brought him here and dropped him off with another wizard.
I mean, you
Celeborn,
could always...
was it?
Was it? I don't recall.
Yeah, Celeborn's with that group up ahead.
Sure, we can go introduce ourselves and strike up a conversation, see where it leads.
All right then. Seems we have our objectives. Let's move on. Uh, I suppose we could talk to Celeborn to see if we could get an introduction to the Senator Cardinal, but he's by no means obligated to do that for us. You know,
Of
might
course.
just be quicker.
Okay. So, party actor, what do you do?
So who are we talking to?
Oh my God. The wizard up
You know
ahead,
what?
the
Maybe my dude
dragonborn.
would be a good priest.
Party actor, you can certainly
Uh,
delegate if you want.
so so we're gonna talk to the flashy dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, Wolf was just gonna walk right up to the guy and be like, "Hey, we need to talk to you."
Okay. As you are walking up to reach the large pavilion where you see Celeborn is talking, in the middle with Senator Cardinal Godwin, you are blocked by a pair of stoic human paladins respectfully block you from entering the pavilion. They smile courteously and cough slightly while gesturing for something. May I have your invitation, please?
Invitation. Um.
What is your name? And he points at Dark Wolf.
The name's Wolf,
Wolf.
and we need to talk to him. Just pointing at Kalimor.
I see.
Uh,
Are you do you work for him? Do you have a faction emblem or an invitation or something? I don't see you on the guest list, but perhaps if I could get your full name and the names of your companions.
yeah, Wolf was gonna look back at the other guys.
Uh,
I'll. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Gilmac would step forward and say, "Oh, I'm Gilmac, and we did a favor for him before. I'm sure if you just let him know I'm here, he would be interested in speaking with us."
I see.
Uh.
Hmm.
Uh.
Okay.
If they
Roll
ask.
me
Oh,
persuasion.
sorry.
Persuasion. Where's my character sheet? All right. Persuasion.
That's not bad.
I appreciate your enthusiasm getting in contact with Celeborn, but he has a lot of friends. I mean, a lot of people want to be his friends. A lot of people have watched his shows. How do I know that you are actually a good friend of his and not just someone that wants to gain access to this meeting?
Oh, I'll show him. I'll gesture to Gilmac, or at least if Gilmac doesn't understand, I'll show him the tickets we had to his next show, the ones that were specific to us.
Anyone can get tickets to his show. Anyone that's rich, anyone that's
Anyone?
powerful. Yes, it's Celeborn shows are famous in the court. So people, aristocrats, merchants, they do it all the time. All this proves is that you're well connected, or you have money, or you have some kind of connection to nobility. That's all it proves. This is a
Well,
private
okay.
event for the most renowned and accomplished individuals in the Republic. I mean, maybe I can get your scroll of pedigree or a letter of recommendation.
All I've got for that is a guild agent badge, but I do have the name of a what's it
Guild
called?
agent
A group
badge.
of
Which faction do you work for?
Hmm.
So we are the clerics.
I'm a member of the associated guilds, the merchant factions.
Oh, he,
Uh,
he smiles a bit at you. Well, that's good. You guys have your merchant connections. This is a cleric event. If you were a faction agent for the clerics of sufficient rank, we could let you in because I think that would be because you'd be on official business. But I know that there isn't any merchant business right here at this moment.
you would
Uh,
be, you would in fact be correct. Uh, Well, if anyone else wants to talk, go ahead. I want to do that before I try this thing.
One of the things that I start with, because of being the variant noble knight, is a scroll of pedigree. Would that get us through?
So you stand before the paladins. What do you do?
Uh, I would say probably just pull it out, hand it to them, and say move.
So they block your way. They don't let you pass, but they take the scroll. They start reading it. Ah, Sir Drek. And it says here you're a knight, but not. You don't have that many accomplishments here. I think one of the priests down by the spire would be happy to attend to your business, unless you have some kind of specific task given by one of the individuals in here.
All right.
They want to speak with them, and it seems important. If he doesn't like it, we can leave.
Okay.
What's important about it? They ask. Our job here is to prevent entry from anyone that doesn't have sufficient renown to enter, or anyone that doesn't have an invitation. Only the most accomplished, good-hearted, and honorable people are allowed entry. There is no one in this event under level 10, and almost everyone was personally invited by Cardinal Godwin. I mean, why should we allow you to enter this event?
You're
There's
just
no
doing your
insult
job.
here. It's just you're not at that level. I don't even know what level you guys are. What level are you?
I'm not
Feel
sure
like,
I understand what you mean by level.
yeah, feel like would disregard the question and say, have you heard of the Xenomorph invasion?
Yes, that's why we're gathering adventurers by the spire, and that's why Cardinal Godwin is gathering the most elite adventurers in this pavilion to talk about the issues.
Okay. Well, if we're not welcome, I suppose maybe we should just move along, gentlemen. What do you think?
Um, that seems like a reasonable request. I will seek out. I was in negotiations before, but when we were first negotiating with Celeborn for our reward for the quest, I was given the name of a messenger service that I was told could reach him. I'm not sure if I could seek them out and attempt to get a message to Celeborn that we are in the city and we'd like to meet up and talk with him. Talk with him in the pavilion if possible.
Okay, you can send a
I
message.
make
It's
sure to word it
probably not going to go through in time, because the paladins are going to say,
that
"Yeah, we're planning on everyone. I understand that you might be disappointed that we blocked you entry to this pavilion. This is our jobs, and I apologize for that. But we plan on leaving for the front lines, everybody, tomorrow morning. So we plan to join Hannibal's army and defeat the Xenomorph invasion, and we would welcome you, if you're a true hero of our country, to come with us. You can please feel free to get the details from the priests. We're departing from the spire tomorrow morning. We'll take the ships. We'll march together along the road."
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna huddle with everyone real quick and make sure that this is a good that I have one last thing I can try, but I want to make sure it's cool with everyone else. What if we mention to them that we were the ones that discovered the xenomorphs? That it was us that first, made scientists aware of the threats.
We could at least try. I don't know if they're going to believe us. I mean, I
I
suppose we
mean,
could at least throw it out there and let them know that we have encountered some, we've killed some, and
I
we've been
have the
at.
materials on me. Like I sold the acid, but I still have the research materials that I used for at that one point when I was attempting to replicate the blast spines. That never got destroyed. I didn't roll low enough for that. And with gentle repose, I could keep them from decomposing like indefinitely.
Well, if that
So
doesn't
I have
work,
my research notes and the research materials, but if that's not enough to prove it, I guess we'll just have to attempt to talk to them on the road, or perhaps if possible, we'll just have to sign up the normal way and just bypass the battle entirely.
yeah, and now it just reminded me. Actually, I could potentially wild shape into a facehugger. And you guys could narrate what's going on here and let them know that indeed we have encountered these things and we've done our due diligence on them and we are prepared to help rid the country of these things.
I understand the sentiment. I don't know if that's a good idea in front of a bunch of what he's describing as level 10 adventurers. That might end up getting you killed outright if you turn into a facehugger without notice.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'd say, I before you transform, let's give them a proper heads up that somebody
absolutely.
is going to be shapeshifting.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, the next thing you're gonna hear is smite, smite.
Yeah.
And,
if you want to present your notes and your research and stuff like that first and see if it works, and we can go from there.
all right. Cypher will reapproach the group of paladins, and
Yes.
didn't want to have to rely on this, but we ourselves, you noticed that the first mention of the Xenomorphs came out of the city of Twyrif itself, yes?
Yes.
This is common knowledge. We actually happen to be the group of adventurers which first discovered the Xenomorphs as well as the threat they posed. I know such a claim is hardly believable based on words alone. So I do have some proof that I'd like to show you. I'll reach into my bag of holding and take out the not all of the preserved corpse of that one variant Xenomorph, but the most identifiable pieces: the head, the spines, the tail, so forth, as well as my numerous, well, and Mort, since he gave them to me, my vast amounts of research notes on the subject specifically. I'll say to them that we might not be the most powerful or influential group of adventurers here. We, however, by far have the most experience with this particular group of enemies. And as you can clearly tell, we are still alive.
Okay.
My friend here also has something else if you would require more proof. It is a little startling, though, so brace yourself.
Okay. What more proof do you have?
Well, I don't know if you also heard, but most of the city of Twyrif evacuated and left to head to Red Larch, and we were a part of that caravan and protected that caravan on the way here. Have you heard of that?
No, I have not.
No? Okay. Well, during my own research, after we've encountered some of these beasts, I studied one of the initial forms of these beasts. The ones that implant the parasites into their victims, and I could show you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Then Gilmac would...
I would like, so this was a cool idea by Game Night, so you get a point of inspiration, but you're at max, so you can give it to someone else if you want. Also, I want one of you guys to roll persuasion at advantage to persuade these guys.
All right, I only have a 1 to persuasion, so somebody else?
Me too.
I've got a +8.
Drek, go ahead and roll.
Drek, buddy, let me slap you on the shoulder and give you guidance right there.
DC's 20. Go ahead. As your incredible evidence is bringing them around, although they could just say, give that evidence to the priests. Because there's no evidence that you actually, I mean, they don't know. But paladins, because I don't know who discovered them, so you could just be making this stuff up in an attempt to associate yourselves with these honorable people behind us. I would be happy to. The question is, do I trust you enough to believe it?
So guidance is a 1d4 and you set it at advantage?
Yep.
Alright.
But
nice.
In times like these, we have to believe in each other if we're going to make it, if our country is going to survive. And Do you actually transform into a facehugger?
If I don't need to, then I wouldn't. But
Well, they asked for you to, so
okay.
you can
So
choose
I
not
would
to.
say, yeah, I would say, have you ever seen one of these? And then it would happen.
Okay. You transform into a facehugger. They're startled. They're surprised. People in the Cap Pavilion have noticed. And, Celeborn comes over. Cardinal Godwin comes over. The paladins introduce them. This is Master Celeborn of the School of Illusions. And this is Senator Cardinal Godwin. And, you guys see both of them. They appear before you, straight back, towering above you. There's a presence with these two gentlemen that you can tell that they're extremely strong. And they're just looking at you.
Oh, Henrik's here.
Yay!
Oh,
Gilmac
And
can't
this is
talk.
Dennis.
About an hour, so we could go ahead and call it there, so we could rope permission in before we continue.
Sounds
Yeah,
great.
sounds good. Thank you. And you will get inspiration for that one for reminding me. We will come back at the start of the hour.
Excellent. One